Okay, so you want to dive to a real head-scratcher, huh? A true crime mystery that's kept folks guessing for like over 2 decades.
Yeah, this is one of those cases that just grabs you, you know? So many twists and turns, dead ends. It's frustrating but fascinating all at the same time.
Right, and that's why we're here, ready to unpack it all. The case of Zebb Quinn, who vanished back in January of 2000.
Asheville, North Carolina, 18 years old, working at Walmart, just gone, poof.
It's like one of the stories you hear and think, no way, this can't be real. But it is, unfortunately. And the more you dig, the weirder it gets.
Absolutely. We've got cryptic clues, a whole bunch of potential suspects, and then this later connection to another, even more horrific crime.
But that's what we do here, right? We take a deep dive, piece it all together, and see if we can make any sense of it. So let's start at the very beginning.
Okay.
January 2nd, 2000. Zebb finishes his shift at Walmart, and he's supposed to meet this guy, Robert Jason Owens, to talk about buying a car.
Sounds normal enough so far, right?
Exactly. But before meeting Owens, Zedd gets this super strange page. It's from his aunt's number, but get this, she's in the hospital.
And to make things even creepier, her house had been broken into.
Yeah, already we've got red flags popping up everywhere. So Zebb gets this page, and he takes off. Leaves Owens waiting, and no one sees him again.
And vanishes into thin air.
2 weeks later, his car turns up, abandoned near a hospital. But that's not all. There are these bizarre drawings on the back window, lips, an exclamation point, and eyes, all done in lipstick.
Like something out of a horror movie?
Seriously. What do you make of that? Is it some kind of coded message? A desperate attempt to communicate?
It's anyone's guess, really. Could be a clue left by Zebb, or maybe a taunt from someone involved. We just don't know.
And as if that wasn't strange enough, the stuff inside the car is even more perplexing. There's a live Labrador puppy, a hotel key card that didn't belong to Zebb, and empty drink bottles that weren't his either.
A real grab bag of random items. You wouldn't think someone on the run would be stopping to pick up a puppy.
It makes you wonder, right? Did someone plant those things in his car? Or did Zebb meet up with someone else after blowing off Owens?
Lots of questions, very few answers.
And speaking of Owens, things get even more suspicious when he shows up the day after Zebb disappears with injuries. Claims he was in a car accident.
But the police find some holes in his story. The damage to his car doesn't quite add up, and his account keeps changing.
Yeah, not a good look. But at this point, it's important to remember, Owens is just a person of interest. He's never been charged in connection with Zebb's disappearance.
Right, we don't want to jump to conclusions.
Okay, so we've got the suspicious car accident, the weird stuff in the car, the mysterious page. But there's also this whole love triangle. Zebb apparently had feelings for a coworker named Misty Taylor.
Who had a boyfriend.
Right, and that always complicates things. Do we know how serious Zebb's feelings were? Was there any bad blood between him and Misty's boyfriend?
That's something the sources don't go into much detail about. It's mentioned that Zebb was interested in Misty, but there's no hard evidence to suggest any major conflicts.
So it's a possibility, but we got to tread carefully with that one. Now hold on to your hats, because we're going to fast forward 15 years to 2015. Robert Jason Owens is arrested, but not for Zebb's disappearance. This time, it's for something truly horrific. The murder of an entire family, the Codds.
And it gets worse. He admits to dismembering and burning their bodies.
It's just chilling. Makes you think, okay, this guy is capable of some seriously dark stuff. And it makes you re-examine everything we know about him in relation to Zebb's case.
Absolutely. Suddenly, those inconsistencies about the car accident seem a lot more sinister.
And during the investigation into the Codd murders, they search Owens' property and find burnt fabric and leather. The question is, could this be connected to Zebb?
It's definitely a possibility, but there are other explanations. Some sources suggest the burnt material might be related to some construction work Owens was doing at the time.
So it's another frustrating dead end. We just don't have enough to definitively link it to Zebb.
Which brings us back to where we started. Zebb Quinn is still missing. No body has ever been found. And while Robert Jason Owens is a key person of interest, there's no concrete evidence to charge him in Zebb's case.
Yeah, it's a tough one. So many threads, so many questions, but no real answers. It's those unsolved mysteries that really stick with you, don't they?
They do. And this one is particularly perplexing. What happened to Zebb Quinn after he left work that night? Was it a random act of violence? Was he caught up in something he didn't understand? Did someone he knew betray him?
We may never know for sure, but that doesn't mean we stop searching for the truth, right?
Right.
This deep dive has been a roller coaster. The mysterious page, the car full of strange items, the suspicious car accident, the possible love triangle, and then the connection to a convicted murderer. It's a lot to process.
It is, and it really highlights how complex these cases can be. There's rarely a simple explanation, and sometimes the truth remains hidden.
So we'll leave you with this. What stands out to you? What do you think happened to Zebb Quinn? Maybe you'll spot something everyone else has missed. Do your own digging, explore the different theories, and see where it leads you. You never know. You might just crack the case.